afternoon, guys, and welcome to today's video. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to go ahead and test out this truck. So I'm taking the car down to the drag strip. We got to pick up the trailer, load it up, and then it's about an hour there and about an hour back. So we're going to test out how the truck does towing. This is pretty much his first time towing. I took it out for a quick little run the other day, and everything seemed to be good. So we're going to go ahead and run down. Kind of curious to see how we get miles to the gallon wise. I also want to check out just kind of overall how it does. So for those of you unfamiliar, this is my 2001 Dodge Ram 3500, dually obviously, and little gauges here, pretty much nothing crazy. I went ahead and mounted up a new, or rather the Avalanche's brake controller, because the other one, when I plugged it in, it actually just got super hot and locked the brakes. So I don't know if that was just faulty or what. I found a couple of exposed wires underneath the dash. I went ahead and fixed all that, and this seems to be working out much better. I also installed my scan gauge right here. Doesn't interfere with anything, so I figured that would be a good location for it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use it for. The MPG is grossly off, but I do like being able to see my coolant temp in a digital scale and also my intake air temp. I have volts up right now, and I don't know, I'll figure out what I want to have in there later. Other than that, did a couple more little mini projects. I was getting a bunch of water in the floorboard over there, so I went ahead and made sure my AC vent was clear. The drain hose, stuck a little extender on it because my actual hose that is supposed to go and drop down was missing, so I think water was getting blown back in. And then also my speaker was actually, somehow water was getting in down in the window, which it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to come inside though, so I went ahead and adjusted some things there, so hopefully that should take care of that problem. So let's go pick up this trailer and see how it does. Well, the rig is looking pretty good, not too bad, although I will say stuff right here came in clutch because the freaking hornets decided to make their nest literally in the tongue of that thing. These two beams are hollow and they're just bloop right on the backside. Super irritating. I was expecting it this time because I went to take this out a little while ago and had the same problem, so hopefully that takes care of it. Alrighty guys, so it's the next day. Went ahead and went drag racing yesterday in the car. You'll see that in the previous video. But I wanted to go ahead and make this a separate video to kind of give an update on how the truck did. So overall, we averaged just about 13 to 14 miles to the gallon, which for towing purposes, the trailer behind me is probably the most unaerodynamic box on planet Earth. It's terrible. So empty or full with the Avalanche, I was getting around 8 miles to the gallon. This was getting around 13 to 14, which cruising at about 70 miles an hour is honestly pretty good. Even though diesel is more expensive than regular unleaded regular gas. So even though diesel's more expensive, it's only more expensive by maybe about 30 or 40 cents. per gallon, and in all honesty, the miles to the gallon I was getting on the back end, which almost doubles the Avalanche when towing, does make this a much more cost-effective towing rig as far as fuel is concerned. As far as maintenance is concerned, yet to be determined. The Avalanche started off pretty rough. This is starting off pretty rough, but we're definitely making a ton of progress. I didn't notice any crazy issues. My trans temp, obviously the truck's not on right now, but it was taking at around 160 on the highway, and then it was about 180 when I was cruising stop and go constantly in traffic and everything, which is about right. Not much air was flowing over the trans cooler. Fuel pressure was good, didn't have any issues. The check valve didn't seem to be causing any problems or anything like that. I did, on the note of the check valve, I did change it out. It is not the same one that I installed on my other video. I went ahead and updated that video, letting people know in the description. However, if this works out long term, I'll post a video strictly on that and also put the part number down there. But for right now, I had to change it out because that one just failed after about a week. It got swollen up, and it wasn't, maybe not swollen necessarily. I thought all the materials were diesel rated. Evidently, they were not, because it changed dimension slightly, and then it no longer operated and closed and opened smoothly. It got bound up and stuck open. So, problem came back. Changed it out. So far, so good. So truck startups have been fine. Got a couple oil leaks that have been there since I had it. Need to figure that out down the road. Trying to think what else. Brake controller worked out perfectly. No issues there. Trailer towed great. No issues there. All the lights seem to be working and all that fun stuff. And then, yeah, guys. So as far as when I was towing on the highway, I was pretty much a consistent about 10 to 15 pounds of under boost, which I'm definitely not used to seeing. But it's definitely working more than it usually does. And then this truck is definitely not quiet by any means. So when you get on it, the whole front dash area and everything, you can really hear the turbo. So they weren't kidding when you're saying Cummins have some loud turbos. So it is what it is. Anyway, what we're going to do right now, truck worked out pretty well. I do need to get the e-brake installed still. So when we got the track, we just shoved a block underneath the wheels to keep it from rolling around, and it worked out fine. However, not the right way. It's also extremely inconvenient. So what we're going to do is unload the car real quick, go ahead and throw a clip of that, and then we're going to drop the trailer off, and that'll pretty much sum up this video. Unfiltered freedom. Well, went ahead and dropped off the trailer, and everything seems to be good to go. Truck came back, no issues. So all in all, guys, definitely happy with this truck as a tow rig. I think I would still like to have something that is off-road capable. So hopefully in the future we'll either pick up a small project or something along those lines. But all in all, guys, the Cummins has come a long way, and it really is nice to be able to, I guess, reap the fruits of your labors, if that makes sense. This truck was definitely not where I would consider confidence inspiring when I first picked it up, but after yesterday it did really well. I didn't have a single hiccup that I'm aware of. Knock on something. I will say, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, this truck does have a tuner on it, and the 3 different tunes are an eco mode, I'm not really sure what the mid-grade is. I don't know if it's just no tune at all or what, and then it's or maybe a mild booster and then a heavier booster tune. So according to it's an Edge something tuner, plug and play little thing, pretty much plugs in between the map sensor and something else, like the ECU. And what that'll let me do is it pretty much adds about, I think they were saying around 55 to 65 more horsepower, and then because it's a diesel, obviously it's going to translate to a little more torque. So I found that the first time I went to tow this trailer, when I went for a test run, I went ahead and left it in eco mode, and actually I got worse gas mileage, and because essentially the way the tuner works, it just either adds or subtracts fuel. So it wasn't able to get enough fuel under load to really accelerate very well, and as such it was spending a lot more time in the upper RPM trying to get up to speed. Went ahead and flipped it to the power tune, and any real tuner, it's probably like a tune 1 or 2, but for this truck it was a little bit extra, and it towed way better, got up to speed with a lot less issues, maintained speed. The Avalanche, to save its life, loaded or unloaded, could not maintain like 70 miles an hour flat. It would constantly go up, and then it would downshift, go up to 70, down or upshift and stay good, and then it would slowly lose mile per hour until I'd downshift again and get back up to 70. It was a constant rhythm like that. This truck had no problem sticking in lower RPM and just hanging out in overdrive at like 70 miles an hour on the highway. So big win there. Anyway, guys, that's definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. It's kind of a slow one. You got to see the Mustang a little bit, but I kind of wanted to make sure that there was a little video dedicated to how this truck is doing towing and my first impressions of it, basically. And overall, compared to towing with the Avalanche, big win. I definitely like this a lot better. I don't know if all gassers, for instance, are going to be terrible at gas mileage. I guarantee that the newer generation stuff is probably better, but we're working in the years of 2002, and this is a 2001, the Avalanche 02. So in the same year range, much better choice to go with the Cummins, obviously, like duh. And for the newer trucks though, I would like to get behind the wheel of one of those F-150s and see how their 13,500 pound towing capacity stacks up to something like this. I want to see how it does. So if anyone has one of the newer trucks and has done towing with it, specifically box trailers, let me know it in the comments how you like it, what kind of miles to the gallon you're getting and whatnot, because I don't know if this is going to be a forever truck, probably not, but I don't know, I'd be interested to know. So let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.